Volume 3 of the Zondo Report has hit uncomfortably close to President Cyril Ramaphosa, even without any firm finding on his own testimony to the inquiry on state capture. Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo has ordered corruption investigations into Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe. An ally of Ramaphosa cannot afford to lose to his uphill battle to keep control of the ruling ANC at the December elective conference. But now clearly jeopardizes his renewal drive. This week the ANC announced the formation of a task team consisting of Jeff Radebe, Naledi Thoko Didiza, Ronald Lamola, Naledi Pandor and Lindiwe Maseko to examine the findings and proposals in the report and offer recommendations to the NEC. Political analyst Barry Hanyane joins us to unpack this further. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really a daunting task lying ahead for these members who will be tasked with being trustworthy, reassuring those that they will be in contact with that there is no underlying issues. What did you make, and what do you make of the formation and its perhaps work that lies ahead?
Mpo, good morning. Good morning to your viewers. I hope it's not one of those kind of like casual yet formalistic ways of trying to respond to a bigger issue, right? We have three big reports. We're not certain as to how big the list of ANC senior politicians in particular, and I'm saying senior in a deliberate sense. There could be your middleweight politicians as well from the ANC that are affected in this instance. Already names are coming out. You mentioned in passing Mantashe, Memkonyane and others. I think this will put pressure on the task team itself in terms of taking a position that the ANC must advance. But at the same time, there are complications before the task team, and that is the individual rights of these persons, the right to take the matter before review, which will involve lawyers and courts and so forth. So I hope it's not playing to gallery, but more decisive, more results-orientated. And we'll have to watch this one. Already, I'm wary of the fact that a number of task teams within the organization have been established, and we haven't seen positive results yet. Not to mention the task team established to see to it that there's the revival of the Youth League, the Women's League, and for me, that's not a good track record to take, especially on a serious, sensitive, complicated matter such as this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we speak about the complexities and the many layers with this process that will take place, here on Newzroom Afrika on Thursday we spoke to the ANC's Bule Mabe, who made some reassurances saying that, you know, that this they've established this team and they will make sure that it's not used to fight any of the internal battles. And, you know, it will also be important to give the members some sort of assurance that should they come forward and be told to appear, that, you know, the process will be free of politics. How important is that bit of assurance as we take stock of what's happening at the conference in December and the entire ANC in its efforts of renewal?
Well, I wish the ANC was not going through the numerous difficulties that is experiencing, so that assurance is indeed put on the table. But unfortunately, here's an organization under siege from its own mistakes, from its own miscalculations, and perhaps lackluster appetite to want to modernize. They should have modernized long time ago. They should have reformed. They should have embarked on this project of renewal, of unity, and all other virtues that are associated with these variables. Sadly, you are looking at an organization whose SG's office is non-existent. There's Paul Mashatile, who's acting in that role, perhaps overwhelmed with the kind of work that he has to deal with. But going forward, it's a party that whose integrity commission should by now have been strengthened to a point where they're in a position to deal with ethical issues, so that come this hour of dealing with matters such as these ones, they're in a position basically to tackle the bull by its horns and make sure that they deliver on a mandate. It will be interesting to look at the terms of references of this task team in particular, to say, are they there to assist those who are implicated, or are they there to take stock of what is happening and simply just report back to the principals within the organization? So I would like to get clarity on that, so that in the end, we don't have the situation of not having understood why in the first place they were established, what was expected of them. And as I alluded to in the beginning, they need, for now at least, focus on results. Will they be there to deliver on their given mandate? If not, I'm afraid it's just another showpiece on the side.
And looking at what the Sunday papers are reporting, especially looking at the City Press and the Sunday World, speaking about President Ramaphosa making sweeping changes to consolidate power, and with his faction looking at booting out old blood and packing the ANC's key committees with loyalists. All of this in the build-up to the National Elective Conference, speaking about the return of Mbeki-era candidates and figures. How important will this work of the task team be, especially as we're looking at what insiders are saying about the strategy that is within the ANC and what President Cyril Ramaphosa is thinking?
Well, the bigger scheme of things is that Ramaphosa needs like-minded persons, firstly within the NEC, all structures of the ANC as well, including your Women's League, who will have a buy-in into his vision, his overall philosophy on what to do with this ANC that lost much of their support base on the 1st of November last year during the local government elections. A warning sign that the support base is dwindling. We're not far-fetched from 2024. You want to prepare for that and beyond. And of course, sell the idea that there is something to salvage from the organization. I take stock of the fact that there are narratives out there that would want to purport the fact that the ANC will not come back from its glory days. Perhaps that is the case. But then there must be effort on the ground to say, how do you then move forward by saving this organization? You look backward on the 27th of November, the Thabo Mbeki Foundation pens out an open letter that says, if the party fails to renew, to revive its old self in an agent way, surely it's bound to face its extinction very soon. Mm-hmm. And so it becomes important in the grand scheme of things that Ramaphosa would then come up with ways, either subtle or diplomatic, that will then put loyalists in key strategic positions, so that in the end, the bigger picture is accomplished at all costs. And then moving forward, you will then have your Ramaphosa era, which will then either go full throttle in terms of issues of ethics, in terms of issues of capacity, and it's not going to be an easy ride. I'm afraid that will take its toll on the organization, and of course, perhaps threaten its survival for the future.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for weighing in on that topic. Political analyst Barry Hanyane joining us, unpacking the elements of the task team, tasked, of course, to look into the State Capture Commission of Inquiry and make some recommendations, or eyes, of course, on the outcome and whether or not certain individuals will be held accountable.